Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to DK Vine Done Slow. And the very beginning of our playthrough, well, my playthrough, of Yooka-Laylee, the original. So I will be playing this on the Xbox One. No, I hear the PlayStation 4 version is the superior version. I'm not sure what the metrics are for deciding which Yooka-Laylee is best. I know what the metrics are for which Brothers Bear is best, and that is you pick the best bear. The best version of Yooka-Laylee, I have no idea, and while I do own this on PlayStation 4, I don't own a PlayStation 4, so I've never actually played it on PlayStation 4, so I'm playing it on Xbox One. The Switch version is great, but it is a little bit different. Some things are scaled down. So, as far as like the pure current gen experience, this is, I think, the best way to play it from a rare nerd perspective, Playtonic nerd perspective, Donkey Kong Universe nerd perspective. Of course, I'm going to be playing this on an Xbox. Just edges out the Switch a little bit, and whatever, PlayStation 4, I don't have it. Maybe I'll get one when the PS5 comes out. So yeah, let's launch into this. I just want to point out real quick though, the little talking heads here, they change, I believe, but Vendy is our main adventure icon character right now, so that is horrifying for some and delightful for others. Options. Let's check out the options real quick. Yeah. I could watch the credits. We'll watch that at the end. I'm in the credits with all of the other Kickstarter backers. And I come right after all of the people who decided to put Hylian in their name from off of The Legend of Zelda, so... Alright, let's go to main adventure. I do love the way... This being a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie and everything, they... replicate the file select screen on Banjo-Kazooie, which was in Banjo-Kazooie's house. And you saw them in various aspects of their life, such as cooking in the kitchen, or playing Game Boy on the chair, the nice comfy chair. This, since they live in Shipwreck Creek, in the Batship Crazy, we see little slices of their domestic life here, including Yooka and Laylee just hanging out up top there. Pulling the wheel there. It was a great animation too. Laylee in particular, oh, there he goes. Laylee in particular, very versatile character considering she has wings and not arms. But they make it work. And over here, I think this is the iconic shot of them lounging about on the rock here. Not Dwayne Johnson. I know many people would like to lounge about on him, but no, this is just the long Laylee towel, and then the very, in comparison, shorter Yooka towel. We'll see that in the actual adventure here. This is the save file too from the Streamaganza back in June. This is going to be a complete run though, so we'll go to new file. Hello to Dre in the live stream. How you doing? Also want to give out a special birthday greeting to DK Vine celebrity Jeff's grandfather. Jeff's grandfather turns 84 years young today, and it's a special occasion considering we thought Jeff almost murdered him back during the Streamaganza. Alright, here we go. Happy birthday, Jeff's grandfather. Shipwreck Creek. There's Ivory Towers, which is Capital B's company, which took over Quackcore. There's no subtle messaging in there at all. Here's Capital B and Dr. Quack and all of the corplets. You know, not to make this political 5 minutes in, but you know, a lot of people back in 2017 did point out. Actually, 2016 is when the character debuted, but at least was shown off for the crowd, and then appeared in 2017 when Yooka-Laylee was released. But a lot of people have pointed out that, you know, Capital B, being a businessman, billionaire, obsessed with gold statues of himself, is evocative of a certain figure in American governance at the moment. And, you know, I think the unscrupulous capitalist is always a good antagonist, rarely a good protagonist, unless it's like a Richard Branson type who can kind of give an adventurous streak to. But yeah, I think this is always a good villain. There's a reason, like the Superman comics, when they rebooted in 1986, made Lex Luthor not a mad scientist, but a billionaire businessman. Just because it really does, like, sum up all of the values that protagonists in morality plays will oppose. So it's more relatable than, I think, having just a king as your baddie. I love King K. Rool, and I think he's the greatest villain in all of video games. But, you know, it's you don't really fight a king too often in your day-to-day life. You don't ever feel your life is coming up opposed to a king. Whereas as a businessman, I think it's something a lot of people could revile and find detestable. So, you know, compared to a king or a witch, which are really the go-to baddies in the Donkey Kong universe, main baddies, arch baddies, I think Capital B is more of a relatable figure. And I feel like this game, he didn't really get a lot of development. I mean, more so than you usually get, but I really feel like he came alive with Impossible Lair. Just like K. Rool came alive with DKC too. Alright, so Yooka-Laylee, you know, obviously Laylee, you can see she was modeled after Kazooie, right? But Laylee is not so much Banjo. He's good-natured, even-tempered, and in those ways he's similar to Banjo, but another aspect of Banjo's character is that he is a mountain hillbilly, and Yooka is a little bit more universal, I think, in his character design and just philosophy. His portrayal is just more the everyman, and sometimes I thought Laylee was a bit too much in this game. Just like I think Kazooie is a bit too much at times. But I think, again, Impossible Lair, they dialed Laylee back to a level that allowed her to be snarky without being an out-and-out, just heinous person. So, yeah, Laylee's really grown on me since Impossible Lair. As is Yooka. As is this whole world, this whole corner of the DKU. It's grown on me considerably. And I liked Yooka-Laylee. I love the original game, but Impossible Lair is such... There's a difference between liking a game, right, and there being a god-tier game. And Yooka-Laylee is a good game, solid game, does some things much better than the Banjo-Kazooie series does. Impossible Lair is a god-tier game. So anyway, don't have many moves now. I can do the double jump. I can crouch. We can do the little emotes. These are, I think this was a Gavin Price idea to get around the animations whenever you collect a collectible in something like Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong 64, where the characters stop and do their little celebration. This way the player can just choose to do it if they want at any time. And I think it's just a nice little touch. It's not necessary, but it adds so much character, and that is something that this team has always excelled at. What I say, this team always being like the rare veterans at Playtonic, but I'm also including the newer people who worked on the game at Playtonic in that category as well. They get grandfathered in. So if you think I'm just showering praise upon the old timers at Playtonic, I'm not. I think they're all brilliant. They all carry that spirit forward brilliantly. I should go talk to Trouser really quick, so I'll go back and explore this after I do that. Trouser is a penis joke, and you might think it's crude, but that design is great. That design of a snake in a pair of I guess, dirty khaki shorts that are, like, patched up. The traveling salesman, like, Willy Loman kind of aesthetic is there. He's also very much, I've compared him to Saul Goodman from the Breaking Bad universe, because he's just sleazy, and there's something like out of time about him. Like, he's not a man of his own era. He's like 30 or 40 years out of sync. And it's funny because he is the Bottles of this game, right? He's the one who teaches you your moves, and he is just a complete opposite of Bottles in almost every way, where Bottles is this genial family man who is inexplicably a martial arts master and maybe an international art thief. Trouser, well, I guess that part is similar, but Trouser wears his criminality up front, and he is really one of the best characters in this game. If I have a gun to my head and I have to say, like, what are the most well-developed, instantly iconic characters, I think Trouser is up there. I don't think Trouser really got his due in this game from a lot of people. Vendy really took off due to her ghastly character design, but Trouser, I think, is the character that you can really sink your teeth into. That wasn't like playing on a snake like features. He is interesting. So I gotta collect the quills. There you go. Interesting that you destroy the treasure chest, because I was playing the toy box earlier in preparation for this. I actually debated whether I should start my playthrough with the toy box. I decided against it. I might stream the toy box one day, but in the toy box, you actually do that, and you just open the treasure chest gently. Here you out and out destroy them. It's almost like the difference between Rare's Donkey Kong Country and Retro's Donkey Kong Country, where everything is just a little bit more explosive and violent in Retro's duology. So this is the batship crazy. Let's go up here. I actually wasn't even paying attention. I was talking too much. I don't know how many quills I'm supposed to collect, so I'm just going to collect as many quills as I can. I'm sure Trouser will tell me. And I know I've brought this up before, but I just love that their home is a pirate ship. Because, you know, this game came out in 2017. Oh, yeah. Butterflies. It's so weird. Just like in the Banjo-Kazooie series, it's like Auto Orange. They're just so happy that you're gonna eat them. But this game came out in 2017, and that was almost 2 years after Rare had announced Sea of Thieves. And there was a lot of division in the fan base at the time. Less so these days, but at the time, it was just like, are you still a Rare person, or are you a Playtonic person now? And I feel like that's unnecessary. I feel like you can like both things. And the truth is, pirates and pirate imagery has existed in the Rare universe, the Donkey Kong universe, long before Sea of Thieves, right? It goes way, way back. And I love that Yooka-Laylee, even though it's a divergent branch now off the tree, it still acknowledges its roots. And, you know, they live in a pirate ship because this is a game with Rare lineage. So, of course, there's going to be pirates in there. There's going to be pirate imagery and aesthetics, and I love it. Can we just look at the design of these barrels really quick? Because I love how aged the metal looks on there. even more so than in Sea of Thieves, and much more than in the Donkey Kong games, that is just an old barrel. And you really see how, like, dented and dingy the metal is, and the wood is definitely worn. There, I ate that. Go in the hold here. And you can push things, like I can push this barrel around. Everything is interactable in this, and I love that. That was one of my main takeaways when I first played this, was just how you could push things. Like, everything feels like it is real and physical, and you are interacting with this environment that exists independent of the fact that this is a video game. Batship Crazy, it's a very obvious pun, but it has become iconic in its own right. The Batship Crazy is just, it just kind of lodges in your head. This is an iconic location now. Iconic at least for fans of Yooka-Laylee and people who are really into, whether it's the Donkey Kong universe or the Rare Shared universe, or however you want to parcel it out. It is very, it just looms large in your head. And you can spin the wheel here, spin the wheel, and pretend like you're sailing out at sea. And of course, the big question is, what is this doing up in the mountains here? Shipwreck Creek is the name of this general location, so the implication is it's been here for a long time, right? And so it's just, you know, how does a pirate ship get up all the way up here? That is a mystery. And it's a mystery that I know Gavin Price has really played up when this game was getting ready to launch. He's very, like, he and Chris Sutherland in interviews were, like, very gleeful in setting all this up, like setting up seeds, planting seeds, I should say. You don't set up seeds, you plant them for future games. I do wish you could look in this telescope here and, like, look up at Ivory Towers up there. You got this little fishing rod here. The Sea of Thieves player in me really wants to start fishing, because I don't have any of the splash tails in this game. But yeah, I just love that they painted it Yooka-Laylee. They just moved in here, and they relatively, like, recently moved in here too. So it's like, what is their backstory? How did they meet? How did they decide to become roommates? You don't really know. It's not explained any more so than how Banjo and Kazooie met was ever explained. So it's kind of left up into your imagination, which is cool. I mean, you get the little fairy lights too. What is the power source on those, though? Barrel down here. Gotta break them all. Alright, let's look up here at Laylee's TV. Really home entertainment system. Just such a great detail. And like, how many gamers will really notice this? It's like when you go into a shop, right? There's been, like, studies done that most consumers, when they walk into a retail space, they actually never read any of the signs. It's a shockingly low percentage. So when you look at, like, little details like this, how many gamers who play this game and are just so eager to plow ahead will ever notice that Laylee has a TV and chair and lamp? That lamp is such a ludicrous detail. It's great, and this is just what they do. They take their time and put in details that don't matter to gameplay. They don't matter to anything except making the world feel more lively and enriched and real. I've always said that, you know, Mario is an obstacle course, and rare games are always more of a real space. Whether that's Donkey Kong. Oh, I got enough quills, but I'm still gonna go around and get as many as I can get. And there's some things I can't get up here yet because I don't have the reptile roll. I'm terrible at learning the moves names or keeping them committed to memory, so I'm going to try to learn them as I go along. I know it's the reptile roll. And here we go. This scene right here from the beginning and from the file select screen. And then you see Sonar Monthly, which is Laylee's magazine, and the pants catalog. And you can see the red Y fronts on there. So my headcanon, and I dare anyone at Playtonic to dispute me, is that this is Mr. Pants catalog. And Laylee, or Yuka, I think, more so than Laylee, is a subscriber to it. Maybe they just found it, I don't know, but yeah, this is what Mr. Pants catalog looks like, and they can I? Yeah, they'll hang the pants fly the pants from the Batship Crazy. And this multicolored paint too is such a stupid detail. I love it. Like, what? Striped paint? It's logic defined, but it's not even a joke. It's just a clever little touch. Alright. I do get turned around here very easily. Here is Blasto. I do love that there's an anthropomorphic cannon from the Batship Crazy that has wound up here, but Yuka and Laylee are friends with it. They've gotten to know it. He's basically their neighbor. There's Kablooey. Now that voice hurts my throat. So in 3D platformer fashion, very obviously setting up that you need to come back here later and pound him to get a Pagey out. 3D platformers are just filled with mindless idiots who need your help over very minor problems that always revolve around the collectibles you need. Which is what makes the logic of them so wonderfully simplistic, right? In this complex go-go world, sometimes it's just nice to assume every single problem revolves around the same 3 or 4 collectibles. I have to say, Shipwreck Creek is lovely. Like, when you think about DKU locations you would want to live, I always gravitate towards the Congo Jungle or Spiral Mountain. But Spiral Mountain does have the Witch's Lair right above it, which is sort of unsettling. And the Congo Jungle, well, the humidity, quite frankly, would be terrible. This is nice. This is nice and temperate, and it obviously, you know, has cable, so it wouldn't be a terrible place to live, would it? Of course, you are right next to that factory, so that's a shame, but so just a bottomless chasm there. You can see the piping coming down from Ivory Towers too. Also, I should point out Grant Kirkhope's music. You know, I don't know. Obviously, this is not going to be as iconic as the Spiral Mountain theme, but it does get stuck in your head. I think due to the nature of the whole reveal of this game, the Kickstarter campaign, unlike Banjo, where the most iconic location is Spiral Mountain and made sense for it to be a Smash stage, the more iconic location in the general public's mind for Yooka-Laylee would be Tribalstack Tropics, because the jungle world, as it was known then, was what was really shown off in those early days. So it made sense when Yooka and Laylee were in Brawl Out, which was the kind of the Smash indie clone, that Tribalstack Tropics was their stage and not Shipwreck Creek. But hey, maybe, you know, in 30 years when Yooka and Laylee get into Smash Brothers, we can finally have an arena set here. I will be back because I have to go up to Blasto and go up that lattice or whatever it is, so might as well talk to Trouser now, though. Laylee's voice always sounds like she's about ready to lose oxygen. She's gasping for breath. She's like so impatient to say what she has to say that she's gonna pass out. She's just like rushing to say it. I don't know. It's amazing how these Banjo-esque voices that they're putting on here and continue into Impossible Lair really do a great job of like establishing a character in your head. It's not easy if you think like, how would you do a character voice that really sums up the character in just mumbles, nonsense? It's hard. Chris Sutherland is a master, though, isn't? Like how Yooka is just talking to himself about how to perform something he knows how to do. All right. The Quackcore Q. Yeah, the Quackcore Q reminds me of the Gizmonics Institute logo from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I'm probably the only person who's ever made that comparison. It's interesting playing the toy box earlier today. And how swimming was a little bit different in the toy box compared to the final game. And see, I can go. They put in shortcuts here, so later in the game when you have to go back out into Shipwreck Creek, you can just get over this and then jump through there. But yeah, see the barrier here, I can push it this way, or I can just break it. It's great. This just feels like a real world. I mean, a bizarre, nightmarish world where bluish, vagina-mouthed genetic mutations, you know, roam, and there's toxic sludge pools everywhere with the alphabet spewing out. Laylee has a lot of commentary about modern gaming. There was kind of this self-conscious attitude in Yooka-Laylee, and it's actually almost a holdover from Nuts and Bolts. And I know, like, Andy Robinson did the majority of the writing for this game, and, you know, was never at Rare, or, you know, working on Nuts and Bolts. But Nuts and Bolts did it too, kind of very, like, self-consciously recognizing that, like, in Nuts and Bolts' case, it was the characters in the franchise. In this, it's the genre itself. It's sort of out of step, out of time with modern conventions, or at least where we thought modern conventions had taken us. But weirdly, I feel like that's already an anachronism, right? I feel like 3D platforming is back, in part because of Yooka-Laylee, but also just because with the indie gaming revolution, there's just a lot more variety now. And so a lot of the self-conscious kind of jabs that it takes at itself and gaming in general. Just looking at the thing that's coming out of the sludge there. There it is. Kraken? All right. But yeah, I feel like, you know, when Yooka-Laylee was announced, 3D platformers, there were a few revival attempts, and but I feel like now, especially, it's really any genre is bountiful these days. You can pretty much find any genre through indie gaming, and there's just a greater variety on all of the platforms. You know, you compare Xbox now to Xbox from a decade ago, there actually is a robust choice. And of course there's Steam, and so yeah, I think all the commentary about gaming has kind of been resolved. Alright, so let's go into Ivory Towers, the Gruntilda's lair of Yooka-Laylee. Lock the trouser. I like that line. Yuka gave himself a short tutorial. Not only does it like Laylee imply that she doesn't need it, but it also pokes fun at just Yuka self-consciously speaking on everything he already knows how to do. So yeah, the pages. Yooka-Laylee's answer to Jiggies, and really everything is themed around this notion of the Grand Tomes and the like magic literature. We have pages, we have quills instead of music notes, we have the ghost writers instead of Jinjos. It's all like much more thematically consistent than Banjo-Kazooie ever was. The long camera shot to show you how to get up there. The game does take off its kids' gloves very shortly after this, but it does kind of walk you through it, which is fine. Because as I've demonstrated already with my gaming skills, I need all the help I can get. This little statue of Quack. I brought this up before, but Quack is supposed to be smart, right? So why does he write the vice president sign on a statue like he's a child running a lemonade stand? And these signs right here to point towards the worlds, they were not in the original release. That was added, I think, in the Spit and Polish update. Because people were complaining that you couldn't find your way around Ivory Towers. And some people now complain that this is just hand-holding and, you know, you can't please everyone 100% of the time. No, Trouser, I'm streaming, and my whole shtick is that I take my time and explain everything and go into historical detail. You bastard! You got the... Are they, like, burning books? Is that what the implication is? But even the details here, you see like the self-propelled hover platforms. Again, logically it doesn't make a lot of sense, but there is an explanation for why things float. It's not just, you know, you could have magic in this world and just say, oh, it floats because magic. But the fact that they go through this bother to explain things via pseudo-tech and science, it goes a long way towards making you buy into the world. It's something I've always appreciated. Fuck you, you giant red cock. God. There, I got it. Are you happy? I think the pages have an interesting design too, because they could have done a lot with them. They could have set the googly eyes up top, made it like the face a lot more pronounced. But the fact that they made the face so tiny and so close together in the middle of the page makes them seem almost. Is derpy a term I can use? I don't know. They look a little silly and goofy in a good way. They made them like overtly comical in their design. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, the Jiggies were only anthropomorphic that one time when you first collect one. I'm Mr. Jiggy! You know, Pages are always anthropomorphic. They will talk to you a great deal. Many Pages actually initiate the quest to get that Pagey. Some Pages have names and personalities. I like that. Because I love character. You know, that is like DK Vine's whole thing, is we celebrate character in these games first and foremost. That is what makes the Donkey Kong universe. Donkey Kong universe isn't just a series of references, it's a series of characters. And so the more characters, the merrier. So the one book is sort of the infinity gauntlet of Yooka-Laylee. If you possess it, you can rewrite reality to your will. It's a terrifying concept, but it makes the stakes for this game absurdly huge. And you know, when you think back to the first games in other series, like Donkey Kong Country, your bananas are stolen. Banjo-Kazooie, your sister has been abducted and she might be made less conventionally attractive. Conquer Pocket Tales, your friend Barry has been abducted by an evil Acorn, and all your birthday presents were also taken. If you know, rescuing your friend wasn't reward enough. So the stakes for Yooka-Laylee are much more like third or fourth entry in the series. The whole universe is going to be written to the whims of Capital B. Just terrifying. Maybe Capital B won, and that is what 2020 is. Have we considered that? Taking a look-see around here. So I have to come back out here because you can see Capital B's nose. There's a little line, like it was clearly like grafted on after the fact in pieces, and so can't do anything with it yet. All right. I wonder who is on the other end of his Zach Morris phone. Just his mother, right? I hope we see more of the Trouser family, actually. That would be fun. It's a great detail, too, how the world of the Grand Tome starts seeping out into the area it's stored in. So Tribalstack Tropics, you start to walk up to it, and you've got really a jungle springing up just in the middle of this industrial factory. And we're going to be spending a lot of time in Ivory Towers, but I do want to point out some details if I can. Well, that's just toxic sludge. I'll walk through that later. In the water over here. Oh my god, I was playing the toy box and it screwed up my perception of swimming. You see all those books in there. Like, they've already been through a great deal of books looking for the Grand Tome. Yeah, I will! You know, let me explore the game, man! You got these little, like, drums there. Oil drums, not like bongos. And like, what is that is a rib cage. That is a fucking rib cage just in the water. I think that was Hamish of Playtonic put all of that stuff in there. Just weird skulls and bones, and I think the whole idea was just to unsettle you, just to freak you out a little bit. Like, why does that exist? Why are there bones just scattered about Ivory Towers? There's a lot of that in Yooka-Laylee, just designed to slightly unsettle you. And I guess in Impossible Lair too, when you explore the overworld. Alright, I'm going. So this game's version of the Talon Trot is the reptile roll, but it is attached to a power bar, so you have to use it sparingly. I love that we're like almost 45 minutes into this and I have not stepped foot in the first world. DK Vine done slow, everyone. This is going to be much longer than 3 episodes, I can tell you that. Donkey Kong Country is one thing, but a 3D platformer, especially like of a relatively recent vintage, it's going to take some time. So strap in, we're going to be in the world of Yooka-Laylee for several weeks. And this is a later quest to get that Pagey and a KG. We have to learn some moves, obviously. But later on, we'll have to like light these torches in order to spell Pagey. But I love that this looks sort of evocative of the Kong letters from the Donkey Kong games, only in a more Playtonic style. The Playtonic bluish purple and gold, which of course is really just modeled after the old Rareware logo. And then the modern Rare logo too incorporated the bluish purple back into it. But the Playtonic logo really harkens back to that classic Rareware logo. Not Rareware, the website, but Rareware, W-A-R-E. That really any fan of that era really, I think, just adores. When Playtonic was announced and debuted, Rare had, I think, the worst logo they've had since like the early 90s, and that was the Connect Sports era Rare logo, which I think even people at Rare will admit that it never really worked out the way they planned. Alright, so... my brain always tells me that the little pad there that you step on to pump in the pages, it's a silhouette of a pagey, right? But I always think it looks like a train, like the front of a little train, like a little toy train. I don't know. And I have to like stop and tell myself, no, it's a silhouette of a pagey. Obviously, it's not a train. Why would it make sense for it to be a train? But it's one of those things you don't consciously think about. And your brain is just trying to like fill in patterns in the background while the front of your brain is trying to play the game. And so that's how we get me thinking that's a train until I stop and tell the back of my brain, hey, that's not a train. I don't really know how the brain works. I don't know which part of the brain does what. Yes. What if I said no? Like, no, I don't want to get any further in the game. I'm content, thank you. Let capital B rewrite the universe. Can't get any worse. Just blow it all up, right? A great alternate universe game. Like, you know, the original Grunty's Revenge plots when it was first announced. I'm just going to head up here real quick. Oh, well, I have to do the thing. Was that it was going to be an alternate timeline, an alternate version of Banjo-Kazooie, and then they decided that was too complicated for the franchise's integrity, so they just decided to make it a mid-quel, which I think works better. But if we did get an alternate reality version of a Yooka-Laylee sequel, it would be cool to see like the Hero Falls timeline, where Yooka-Laylee fail and capital B does rewrite the universe. I think that would be cool. Oh, there's a skull. I was looking for the skulls earlier. I found a rib cage, but yeah, what is that skull? Like, why? Why would you put a skull there? And I know it just like signifies that this is a dangerous place, but it's spoopy. It's spoopy. I don't need to have the Spirit Halloween experience when I'm playing Yooka-Laylee, especially at the beginning of the game. Throw in the skulls near the ends, but at the beginning, I'm like, oh, what kind of scary skeletons am I going to be encountering? Well, I guess I will be encountering a skeleton in Tribalstack Tropics. She's not scary, though. She's nice. There we go. Oh, but it's flaming. It's flaming. And I can get over there. I could theoretically reach that pagey in time, but oh, I'm gonna wait. No, I can't, because I have to break open the glass. And how do I break open the glass? I don't have any moves. I'm gonna just tongue it. No, I know I need another move. And I make light now, like, of the move, because I know later on I'm gonna have to come back. But I know playing Tribalstack Tropics coming up here, there will be pages where I will attempt to get them, and completely forgetting that I need moves later on. Alright, let's do this! Onwards. Gonna check in with the live stream real quick, give a quick howdy do. So hello to Rendering Ranger, Bryman, Rendering Ranger is talking about a 30-minute clip of DKC3 on GBA. Oh, okay, I'll check that out. Right now, I'm kind of focused on Yooka-Laylee, but I will check that out. All right, so this is Tribalstack Tropics, and I could go up there, but there is the thingy down here. It's kind of hidden. This is very evocative of Mumbo's Mountain, the first world of Banjo-Kazooie. And it also just having a kind of tropical themed ruin stage also harkens back to Donkey Kong in a lot of ways. They really like thought out what should be the first world of the game out these glyphs. I don't know. Is there a meaning behind them? Did they devise some sort of like language with those glyphs? I know later on in Capital Casino they used real Egyptian hieroglyphics, but all right. So here's a Ghost Rider. These are the Jinjos of the game. Yes, I love the Ghost Riders, and we've pestered Playtonic about, like, there are 5 Ghost Riders in Yooka-Laylee, and there are 5 worlds, and they are the writers of the Grand Tomes. They wrote that, you know, with the quills and the Infinity Ink or whatever, but which Ghost Rider wrote which book, or did they write them collectively? And they've never responded, because I don't think they've thought it through. But damn it, I want to know. That was Normie, I think. Normie, the normal Ghost Rider who just stands still and like a Jinjo, and you just collect them, and that's it. But later Ghost Riders are much more tricky and challenging. All right, here we go. And the corplets change to fit the environment of every Grand Tome they're in. So here we have the tribal corplets, kind of wearing the Mumbo Jumbo-esque skull mask around the little stream bed here. Oh, and there is, I think that's Evady or Evie or something. I forget, I'm sorry, but had a much easier time with her than I usually do just now. You can see in the background just how, like, expansive Tribalstack Tropics is supposed to be. Like, these are all floating, I don't know if these are actually floating platforms, because you can see kind of a mountain. So I guess we're supposed to be on a mountain too? Alright, it looks floating though. It does look like it's floating. But, yeah, don't fight, you two. Not so close to the ledge. But I do like how it just really, like, spurs your imagination. Like, how far does it extend into the background? And then, ooh, yeah, look at that. So I guess there are floating platforms here in addition to the ruins on the mountains. Which is fine in the context of a Grand Tome, because this is all fiction that was brought to life. So really any rules that would be applicable to the story are also applicable in the reality that was created from the whatever, the Infinity Ink. Yeah, there we go. I think I'll go up and do the Clara bit first. I do not want to race you. Not yet. Clara is one of my favorite characters. She's just a Skelly who, I think it's implied that she just recently lost her skin in this very situation. The corplets cooked it right off of her, and it just slid off her body. So, and that's not Dingpot. That's from Banjo-Kazooie. I always mix it up. Potty Mouth. But I love that they become friends. Despite it all, despite these awful circumstances, they become friends. And then Clara will show up later in the game, too. But I think she's supposed to be a native of the Tribalstack Tropics story, the book. And she then later leaves it and goes to explore other Grand Tomes. But I think she is a native-born character. It's confusing because the game's never clear on this. And some characters are from the Grand Tomes, and some characters are entering the Grand Tomes from the larger world outside of it. It's a whole thing. But you kind of have to piece it together in your own head. That's his just say no message. All right, Nancy Reagan. Jesus. This is a very basic little battle here. They barely even charge you. What are you doing up? Come on! Yeah, I'm just spamming them with the same move. Looks like dinner's canceled. Woo! I got a pagey. If you go in here, they'll just pop you out another one. I'm really not sure what the point is, other than it just allowed them an enemy spawn point. Oh yeah, I can get a move from Trouser. And then, of course, up here, when we expand the tome, will be where we meet Shovel Knight and go on his little quest. But he's not there yet. We haven't enlarged it yet. If I can jump on her. Yeah, I can step on her. Oh, that's mean and unfortunate. I like how they don't even free her, really. They stopped the corplets who were cooking her, but then they left her in the pot. I guess maybe Potty Mouth just, like, tips her out of it and helps her escape. I don't really know. And there, yeah, there's the setup for Shovel Knight's appearance. Of course, you see all these berries here, which haven't learned how to consume them yet and augment yourself. There's a lot in this game where like you can see it early on, but you can't do anything with it until you learn that move. Which I guess is tantalizing in a way. And it's been so long since I've played this game as a novice, as a newbie, that I don't remember if it was like frustrating or not. Like how often I spent trying to look at the way that tree moves and the little leaves shake out. That is something that's downgraded in the Switch version. All the trees are more universal and they're not nearly as animated as. It's just weird. That's kind of unsettling. I wonder if I just stayed here for the next hour and just had this Twitch stream of a shaking tree shedding its leaves, how many viewers would stay with me? Do we want to find out? Should I pull that trigger? Probably not. I need to build an audience, and I need to build that trust before I pull any move like that. But I would do it. I would totally do it. Oh, send. Feed me. But I can't feed him. I can step on him, though. Look how unsure Yooka looks. Like, walking on a ghost. Apparently, yeah, feet go right through the ghost. Got very unsure footing when you walk on an ectoplasmic entity. Speaking of ectoplasm, though, the design of the Ghost Riders are very much from, like, the real Ghostbusters. That kind of, like, ghostly design. You know, I'm a child who was around in the late 80s and early 90s, so I appreciate that. I had many the Kenner toy that resembled that Ghost Rider there. Alright, where should I go next? A lot of people didn't like how wide open Tribalstack Tropics was. I think it was just a bit too much. I don't know. I thought it was fine. Compared to like some Banjo-Kazooie worlds, I feel like Tribalstack Tropics was restrained. So I should go up. I always have to check to see if I can like walk up without using a reptile roll. All right, let's talk to Trouser. There's a very Trump-esque line from Trouser there. Hey, not that I would want to compare the two. He says business ass usual. I know the whole multiple S things are part of his shtick, but I'm surprised they got away with something so close to ass in this game. So I could learn the sonar shot, which would help me with that Ghost Rider. No, actually the slurp shot would help me with the Ghost Rider. Or I could learn Buddy Slam, which would allow me to go back and get that extender. And actually allow me to go back to Blasto. Yes. We actually see his house in Impossible Lair. Not so much a house as like a little like caravan. Doesn't go well for him. Spoilers. All right. No, I didn't want to talk to you again. All right. And there we go. Now we got the bison. Look at that poof. Nice little dust cloud effect there. Satisfying. So I will probably temporarily exit the world and go attend to unfinished business in Shipwreck Creek and Ivory Towers. I'll collect these quills before I head out, though. I guess I should say hello to Vendy, too. there's one thing people watching any Playtonic products demand, it's bendy and feet. And at least, you know, you can stare at Yuka's feet all you want, but you have to actually visit Bendy. So let's visit Bendy. So Kev Bayless designed Bendy, the creator of Diddy Kong, also gave us this. So weird. I don't even know. Obviously we've embraced Bendy and all of her nightmarish qualities, and Playtonic has definitely made a thing of her, a meme. But my God, like what? So yeah, I have a whole bunch I can get to now, but I'm not going to apply any of these for the time being. The 64-bit tonic I did during a stream again, and I will not be doing it on this stream. But you can go back and watch that on YouTube if you want to see the effects of the 64-bit tonic. All right. The lighting effects are great in this game too. And you know, really where Yooka-Laylee excels, I mentioned that it does something better than the original Banjo series, and one of that was the thematic unity and consistency that I mentioned, but play control, it's so much more crisp and smooth than the Banjo games. And that's, you know, a game of 2017 versus a game of 1998. Obviously you're going to get that, but it's so hard for me to go back to play Banjo-Kazooie now because it feels trotting and clunky, and I mean, I love it. I'm never not going to love Banjo-Kazooie, but this game just, it's like slathering your body up with butter, or I can't believe it's not butter, and just sliding down a smooth hallway. I like how all the characters are like betting on their immediate demise too. Ooh. So yeah, everybody does this differently, but I do like to get as much juice out of a world as I can before I expand it. So I know some people just want to make the world as big as possible from the very start. But for me, it helps my brain organize things if I can get as much out of it, even in its diminished state as possible. And then when it's expanded, I can like focus on those objectives. And you can't see the word expand anymore without thinking of the Donkey Kong meme. Something that Playtonic even copped to during their developer commentaries for Yooka-Laylee, which are excellent, and I absolutely recommend checking them out. As well as the two-part conversation we did about Yooka-Laylee's developer commentaries. And then, of course, just Andre of the DK Vine community did his own roughly 6-hour commentary on our commentaries on Playtonic's Yooka-Laylee commentaries. So I'll go out here first before I get the statue. And now I guess I'm doing my own commentary on Yooka-Laylee, so even though I have nowhere near the developer insights that the developers have, because I am not a developer. I am just a weirdo who is playing Yooka-Laylee because they put a goldfish in it, who is clearly supposed to be Royston. I would have played it no matter what, keep in mind, but now I can just take that shortcut back, and now I'm back home. But now it is overrun by corplets. They're like ransacking the place. Oh, look at that waterfall. That's beautiful. I'm a sucker for water. What can I say? Alright. I might not be able to do all of this yet. I forget. How did that corplet get up there? They can't move up that slope. Ow! I forgot the fire hurts you. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm fine. And there, I got a pagey. Nice little obstacle course here. Mild, but still interesting. Also, I think it's weird that there's a... I guess this is the paint can they used to paint this. And they painted it going up? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Back behind here real quick. I could honestly just get lost in this environment and stare at all these details for a long, long time. I meant to chew on that butterfly, not just step into it. It's nice to have this little butterfly terrarium here. There we go. It's challenging sometimes with the butterflies because they increase your power extender and they also work as your health. So sometimes you mean to tongue them and then you just run into them by mistake and you don't mean to do that, but then you've kind of wasted that butterfly. Alright, Blasto. I came back just for you and that pagey over there. And this pagey here. So who picks up recycling in Shipwreck Creek? That's another question. So yeah, now we could actually expand Tribalstack Tropics, and I've only gotten one pagey there. I like to think Kablooey is a Breagle. They never like say it outright, but I like to think she's a little Breagle. I don't understand this joke. This is something UK-centric, and Andy Robinson wrote it. And I asked Andy Robinson on Twitter, and he didn't explain it in a way that made sense to me. Dirty Dave's Dubious Donners? It's something. Something I don't get, because I'm an American. Hey, I'm trying to look at Blasto. Would you calm down, bird? Alright. I just seen if that little metal plate on Blasto was inscribed or anything. Shame on you, Playtonic, for not inscribing it. Alright, so now I'm going to head back into Ivory Towers. Now that I've got those two pages. Although I really just want to climb on the batch of crazy, if you can't tell. Okay, I'll indulge myself this one time. The nice thing about my streaming series being called DK Vine Done Slow is that I can just be obnoxious like this. Also, yeah, it's just very vainglorious of Laylee to, you know, base the ship, rebrand the ship after herself, and kind of leave poor Yooka out of it. It's just fun to, like, parkour around the ship and try to, like, climb. Oh, there's the underpants. I missed them before. I couldn't remember if they were actually already hanging from there, and they are. See if I can walk across very gingerly. Ah! Like, this is just a satisfying game to move around in and just do nothing. It's so well conceived from a gameplay perspective, from just controls, and it's just fun. And yeah, look at there's your money shot right there. The giant ass underpants hanging from, because they're made for a giant ass. Thank you, Mr. Pants. Thank you. You truly make products for all body shapes and sizes. Glad they restored these burial. Hey! Follow me. Glad they restored those barriers after I smashed them. Alright. Just staring up at the so-called golden eye camera. I don't see it myself. Okay, the spines of these books don't have titles. Later on, further in the game, there is... It's not really a Conquer reference, but it's a Conquer reference. It's actually more of an rare developer in joke than a Conquer reference. It just made its way into both games, but because the logic, it was in Bad Fur Day first, it becomes a kind of a Yooka-Laylee reference in Conquer, just added more context to it. I'll explain it when we get to it. Which, at the rate I'm going, will probably be sometime in March. Alright. Go smashy smashy here. Don't fall! So now I have the power extender, which is very helpful. I wonder if that is a clue that Yooka-Laylee takes place on a Friday, that he mentions casual Fridays. Or it begins on a Friday and takes place over the course of a weekend. Or maybe longer. Time is always sort of nebulous in these games. Because I think Banjo-Kazooie is implied it just takes place over the course of one day, when it feels like it should be a month or two. I guess it's all up to you, the player. You can sort of define how long the heroes have been on their adventure. Alright, Dre is mentioning doner kebabs. What are they? Please tell me. I really want to put this to bed, because it bugs me. It honestly bugs me that I don't know what it's referencing. Because I consider myself like an Anglophile, but I can only know so much having been born in the United States. And some things just don't make their way across the Atlantic. Some things we just don't know. Look, you tell me what they are, what Blasto is referencing, and then I will explain something very insular to, you know, that's American. I still can't get him. Oh. Well, I will go around. I like how casually racist some characters are, right? And it's always done in a way that's like not offensive, but within the context of this world, this is very racist, right? Like, absolutely. And Waza from Banjo-Kazooie was the same way. Like, didn't want to speak to anybody who wasn't a walrus. And, you know, as fun as this world is, it is very much rooted in our world, and there are just awful people. I think what I like how Playtonic and Rare root their games in our world, though, is how mundane everything is. Blasto mentioned recycling. Rampo, when we meet him later on, will mention door-to-door salesman. And I love that these games are just fantastical and absurd, but they are still rooted in the day-to-day drudgery that we all experience. It's a very British thing, I think, in humor, but it is something I find so relatable. And it makes me able to relate to the characters, whether they be Kongs or bears or Yooka-Laylee. It makes me feel like, even though they live in a world that's far beyond my own, at least like their experiences, I've never set out to retrieve a magic book that can rewrite the universe. Not that I know, I might have, I just didn't realize it, but I can still relate with like, oh, I've got to recycle this, I shouldn't throw it away, right? So, I don't know, it makes me feel like I can understand what that anthropomorphic canon is going through. And that might be the only time in my life I will have ever said that statement. Ah, so, pirate treasure. This, my friends, is this game's version of Stop and Swap, in that it is so far a totally pointless mystery that's there to tantalize us, and it was added very late in development. I think Gavin Price wanted more collectibles, and they wanted this giant, like, ultra secret collectible that's not even on the total screens. Because look, right, let me show you the total screens. So there's totals for Ivory Towers, totals for Tribalstack Tropics. So you got pages, you have quills, you've got the extenders, the Playtonic coin, and you've got the Molly Cool and the Ghost Riders. You don't have any fucking pirate treasure, but it is a skull with jewels in it, and I want to take it to the Order of Souls because I'm sure I could get some high-end gold and commendations for it. I wonder if it is like a Skelly skull from back in the day. Afflicted with some sort of like diamond or like ruby curse. I guess those are rubies in it. Feels very much of Sea of Thieves, but... So, didn't come into play in Impossible Lair. So I imagine it will when they make an out-and-out sequel to Yooka-Laylee. You know, Tooka-Laylee is the fan name for it, playing off of Banjo-Kazooie. So I imagine that will be hopefully paid off there. But yeah, pirate treasure. And I like the scary-ass piano music that plays whenever you collect it. It's really designed to just kind of unnerve you. Because what was that? We don't know. And Playtonic's not telling. I also really like how you can just climb the rocks here. It feels very traversable. And that's something I do and both admire and find fault with Yooka-Laylee, is that it feels like sometimes there are multiple ways to tackle a problem or to obtain a collectible or complete an objective. It's not just cut and dry. There's one way to do it. I like it, but I can see why it's frustrating for some people. And this is a much less extreme example, like climbing the rocks. Like, obviously, you're supposed to climb them, but I'm just thinking more broadly in terms of later on when you have more moves and you can kind of break the game. Not break it, but sidestep a lot of the intended ways to do things. But it feels kind of realistic that way, doesn't it? There's not just one way to go about things in life. I really should hold off just going for like the full-on exploration until I expand it, though. Love the rainbow in the distance there. The palm fronds that jiggle when you touch them. Head in here real quick. Rampo's treasure chamber. It's like a gold quarter vault. I just want to grab all these coins to get the achievement. Wonder what the got rubies, we have sapphires. I'm expecting emeralds, but it's a purple gem. Amethyst, or I don't know. I'll take that quill though, thank you. I'll take this one too. And this one. Sorry, Paigey. I'll be back. One of these days, I'll be back. So yeah, I'll head through this way. Boom, 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 boom. Very catchy Grant Kirkhope song. Alright, how many... I have enough quills now to go back and visit Trouser. Maybe I'll go for 60 so I can get both moves. Love the like the moss-covered stone ramp there. There's one thing that like the Playtonic and Rare family do even better than water. It's old temple ruins. I usually take my time with that. I think it's the first time I just went for it. Ah! I can actually like feel the heat radiating off this. Like, can you imagine how hot that would be? If you're like me, you've spent a fair amount of time standing in front of shooting jets of flame. If you're like me. I hope you are. Oh, that one doesn't turn off. Ah. Fine. I'll just run through it. So this is the pathway to Rampo. But as I've not expanded the tome... Oh yeah, these little like general corplets take 2 hits instead of 1. They're pretty worthless. So yeah, I can't get up there yet. Maybe I can, but it's just not worth the time. Can you, like, see the flame? It looks, like, hot in there. Maybe it's just, like, a weird lighting effect, but it's almost like you can see the flames, like, radiating out of the temple itself. Alright, I'll hop down. Oh, well, that was stupid. Didn't kill me, though. Didn't really make me stronger, though, either, so I don't know. Luckily, they're very generous with butterflies here. And then taking care of corplets will also get you butterflies. I don't know if the implication is that they're holding butterflies, like each of them has a butterfly on their person, or maybe they like reincarnate into butterflies. I don't know. Maybe corplets were genetically modified butterflies, and defeating them reverts them to their natural state. That's weird. I don't know if I like that. That's not a good fan theory. Please don't subscribe to that fan theory. It's rubbish. I could go in there, but that's Duke. Not Sea of Thieves Duke. There's another Duke in this game. I do like, if I miss it on the way up, I always like sliding down to get it. Alright. I should learn the slurp shot, I think. That would be more beneficial. So it's weird how Trouser like sells you moves, because like your brain thinks like it would be some sort of Matrix type situation where it's just like uploaded into your brain, but he's just telling you, hey, you can do this. You can do this, Yooka. This is something you've always been able to do, but let me show you, the snake who cannot replicate these moves himself. Let me show you how it's done. I guess it's not that much different from bottles in just general oddness, but stupid video game logic. But at least there's some logic, right? That's Duke. That is Duke. I think he might be my favorite corplet in the game. He's just, you know, an individual. If Playtonic ever does a racing game, and if they felt like they had to like have one of the generic vanilla corplets in there, I think Duke should be a top contender. Because he is his own individual. That's a lot of people's first view of Vendy. Which I imagine it just is freaky. Seeing Vendy and just this ambient camera pan. Alright, Dre's gonna send me a link to whatever the hell, the dubious Donners or whatever. Look at him, look at him. I love this character design. It's not even the top hat, it's the fact that the top hat is like obviously a relic. It's like he found it in a dumpster somewhere. It's chewed up and ripped, and he has just the vanity cane, and he's just like, you know what, this is who I am. I am just this posh ass monster. The vagina face. Yeah, and I just like the explanation that he is just more erudite and aristocratic, as he says. just because that's what he chooses to be. In any social dynamic, there is going to be somebody who fancies himself above everyone else, right? A snob. So I like that that's true with the corplets, too. And you know, with all like the Koopa Troopas and Goombas, especially I think in the Mario RPGs that have their own personalities, it's rare in like a mainline adventure for them to have like much of a personality. And we get that here with the corplet. Steve Mails, you can tell it's a Steve Mails character because one eye is bigger than the other. That is a trademark of Steve Mails. K. Rool, Gruntilda, Capital B. Alright. So, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Ah! It's just like firing a cannon in Sea of Thieves. Maybe. Ah, come on. How did you do that? Okay. No, come back. Come. No, don't you do that. There we go. Got a little ugly near the end, but I did it. I like how even though this corplet is a bastard and a snob, he is still generally a good guy, right? Like, even if he just wants to bring down his own kind because he is up his own ass. Yeah, up his own ass. So maybe he's not a good guy, but he's also, he's got his own agenda, I guess. If can I stand on that top hat? I can stand on that top hat. And by the way, yeah, with the slurp shot, you can see how it like, sort of augments Yuka's coloring, and when the frost berries are inside of him, when he's powered by them, he's got the glowing crest and tail and toenails. Yuka's design, yeah, really like lends itself to that. It's very simplistic, but that's actually beneficial. Like, it's not as busy as some of the earlier designs. Like Banjo is a busier design. Yuka is more designed, I think, around gameplay versus just the character itself. So it's kind of going counter to how the team traditionally designed characters, which I think is interesting. In that, you know, I'm fond of how they used to design characters, but I also really like Yuka. All right. Let's see, what I could go get that a Ghost Rider. That's what I could do. Right up there. Gotta feed him, which means I also have to find the berry, which will probably be down here because I think the goal is to get up there with enough time. Sorry, I just find myself casually humming the music occasionally. It's lodged in your brain. Grant Kirkhope, man. he writes very, very memorable tunes. There we go, and now I can collect them. I think out of like the what are considered like the three main and I hate that because it does a disservice to like Graham Norgate or Eveline Fisher, but Grant Kirkhope, David Wise, and Robin Beanland are considered like the three like big rare composers, if not just due to the proximity of the major franchises. David Wise, Donkey Kong, Grant Kirkhope, Banjo, Robin Beanland, Conker. Granted, they're they mixed it up here or there. Robin Beanland did a song in Donkey Kong Country. Grant Kirkhope did the entirety of Donkey Kong 64. But I think Kirkhope is known for writing more generally upbeat, catchy numbers. David Wise is more ambient. And Robin Beanland is just a jack of all trades, the musical chameleon. No pun intended here. But, yeah, Grant Kirkhope, his songs will get stuck in your head. All right, here's the Pagey piece. And I always wonder how the minds of the Pagey pieces work, because they're all of one Pagey, but they're all anthropomorphic when they're torn up too. So are they clones of each other? Do they create new distinct personalities that then you're invalidating when they get put back together? I actually should tweet at Playtonic about this. I'm sure Daly would appreciate that. This also gets me more quills. There's a bounty of quills here. So I have to like listen for the Pagey pieces. Pretty sure there's also a Ghost Rider in here, but I need the sonar shot for that. Oh, there's one. I like how they define themselves as the second Pagey piece. How does I guess the first one is always the one in the cage. Or in the open cage. For a second there, I thought like they just like called themselves like I am always the second Pagey piece. That is the number I've defined myself as. Where did you go, you little? I know saw you go in the bushes there. Okay, fine. Oh, there's a Knights of Camelot. Objectively, there you are. Objectively, the worst characters in the game. I'm sorry. I hate them. I don't know what it is about pig characters that have such a high threshold to clear with me. Professor Chops, I've come around to Professor Chops, right? In Retro's Donkey Kong Country duology. But man, for a while there, he was hard to love, and the Knights are hard to love for me too. I like Wizpig. I mean, I don't like him as an individual. He's a bastard, but he's a good, intriguing villain. I guess Chris P. Bacon in Banjo-Tooie's okay. I don't love him. Trough in Donkey Kong 64, the nipple-piercing enthusiast. Yeah, I don't know. Something about pig characters. I like pigs. I'm not some sort of weird anti-pig man who just has a problem with pigs. I like pigs. They're a very intelligent animal. They're cute. But in video games, as anthropomorphic characters, oh man. Something about them. Maybe because I don't understand. We'll talk about more with the Knights of Camelot later. And now they're made one. And what happens to their individual personalities? Are the memories of each Pagey piece put into their one collective brain then? Do they remember those experiences? I have so many questions. So many questions. Please, somebody at Playtonic, if you ever see this, get back to me. Get back to me and let me know. I am not going to do the Knights of Hamlet thing right now. I could, but I know I have 14 minutes left before the scheduled end of the stream. So, I think I will... I'll get more quills. That's what I'll do. I'm very close to getting all of the moves. Oh, come on. There we go. Very close to getting all of the moves in Tribalstack. If you're afraid of heights, this world can be disconcerting at times. And I used to be afraid of heights, like going hiking. Ah! Going hiking cured me of my fear of heights in short order. Like, I was forced to, like, confront my fears, and there we go. But I swear, sometimes I get vertigo standing up top as I scale. Talk to you. Yeah, they're all a bunch of racist. Oh! Let me go say hi. So the whole reason this game is DKU, technically. So there is Dr. Puzz, Ed Bryan's contribution to the characters of this game. And of course, Ed Bryan is now a full-time staffer at Playtonic. He was with Nosy Crow, the UK children's book publisher, doing their digital storybooks. And during that time, he put Royston the Goldfish in Goldilocks and Little Bear, and DK Vine campaigned for this, and Playtonic delivered. They put a goldfish in Yooka-Laylee because we requested it, and we were like, you don't have to say it's Royston because obviously there are legal barriers to that, but if you put an unnamed goldfish that taps on the bowl 3 times, we would really appreciate that, and we'll just take it from there. And they did it, although they forgot to animate the goldfish tapping on the bowl 3 times. Apparently Steve Mails was very upset about that, but the implication is clear. And Ed Bryan, of course the creator of Royston, also did this character design as well. So from DK Vine's perspective and from Playtonic's unspoken intention, this is the same goldfish that appears in Banjo's home, Royston, his pet goldfish, who Mumbo Jumbo cooked at the end of Banjo-Kazooie, and then he lived on the grill for 2 years, surviving in grill juice and rainwater, and then was cooked at the end of Banjo-Tooie by Bottles and his wife, and was partially eaten, but also managed to survive. Eventually escaped. Actually, I think what happened was he was thrown out in the trash, right? Went cold, and then a dinner was thrown away, Royston included. And then when Baron von Ghoul was exploring the Isle of Hags, found this talking goldfish in the trash outside of the Bottles' home. Took it with him back to Ghoulhaven Hall, which is where Cooper and Amber encountered Royston the goldfish. When they liberated Ghoulhaven Hall, somebody like Babs or Ma Soupswill or Fiddlesworth set Royston free, and Royston was eventually recaptured by Banjo, escaped numerous times, has popped up across the Donkey Kong universe, and has now found a steady, stable home with Dr. Puzz. There's your history lesson. Dr. Puzz, we later find out in Impossible Lair, was actually an octopus who became part human, rather than what I think our brains naturally lead us to believe here, where she was a human who became part octopus. Which the name Dr. Puzz makes a lot more sense if she's just a fucking octopus to begin with, and makes more sense in the logic and world of Yooka-Laylee, where there are no humans aside from, I guess, shovel knights running around. Dr. Puzz is the Mumbo or Humba of this game, but she is a much more science-based version. I mean, nonsense science fiction, but still doesn't use magic. And I like how it's the first home that Royston has had where he is not abused or living in a spooky haunted mansion or getting hit with golf clubs. He seems happy with Dr. Puzz, and I'm happy for him. We should all be happy for Royston here. And this whole backstory with her and Quack and... She does look like something out of Splatoon. But there is an element of body horror with all of this, right? Like, transforming them and, more so than Mumbo and Humba's transformations. I just slide right off the bowl. No, I don't want to talk to you again. I was trying to stand on your head because... Royston. I was trying to stand on Royston, but your head is too slippery, so I can't do it. Yeah, so he's talking to his mom, although he doesn't have his phone out, but I guess it was in his pocket. Anyway. I want to see Trouser's mom. What horrific designs could they come up with there? The 18th month insurance plan always cracks me up. If you've ever had to work any salesperson job, or, be it retail or just like sales in general, you've ever had to sell any technology and you always have to push the insurance plan, which is just usually a complete fucking scam. But sends shivers up my spine from my time in the trenches there. Alright, I think that Ghost Rider I was talking about... Go back in that cluster of trees. Well, I could just do this. These little totem statues. No! I missed it. I think they look like something out of Pee-wee's Playhouse in their design. I don't know how many of you have ever watched Pee-wee's Playhouse, but they look like something you would see in the architecture of the titular playhouse. Well, I was just... Why did I do... Oh, ow, and then I just run smack dab into those. I got too cocky is what I did, because I was playing the toy box earlier, and I was like, wow, it's really easy to jump from platform to platform. And it's a little bit more challenging here. They give you less time to make errors. Ah. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, they look like something from Pee-wee's Just Google Pee-wee's Playhouse, and you'll see all sorts of images. Also, side note, Paul Rubens, the actor who plays Pee-wee Herman, was arrested for masturbating in a movie theater. And so was Bumper the Badger. So there's your DKU connection right there whenever I mention Pee-wee. Pee-wee and his Pee-wee. I'll check in with the live stream before we wrap up here. I want to get that Ghost Rider there, so I'm going to head back into the little grove, little forest grove here. I always have trouble finding it, though. Really, if you become disoriented in Tribalstack Tropics, use this center temple, Duke's Temple, as kind of a bearing point. Because it is very hard to find your way around, but just orient yourself with that. And just walk around it and don't stray too far off the path. And you can find your way back. So over here, this is all going to be filled in with the expansion. I'm looking for frost berries actually to take care of this. This like they're, I think Playtonic has just decided to call them inepts. Oh, yep, see, they'll shoot you. So you have to take that out. But they were like corporate security. And then the one in the toy box was called inept. And then there was a boss character also called inept. And then somewhere along the way, Playtonic just started calling them all inept. And this is another thing I've never gotten a clear answer on. And I've pestered Daily about this quite a bit. And I still don't feel like I have a good explanation for whether they're all inept, whether they share a consciousness or what. But if it's a hive mind or I don't know. But I thought it was just the character in the toy box who was called inept. And then they complicated things. See if I can find that, since I'm here. See if I can find that ghost. That spoopy ghost. So you can usually hear her making noise. Down near the pig? Oh god, that scared me. Because I was just listening intently and then I just heard the pink pig go chomp chomp, oink, oink. And wasn't expecting it. Am I really not going to be able to find this ghost? Yo, ghost. Thought you were over here. Was I wrong? Or do you only appear post-expansion? Like, I don't know. See, I can't help myself. It just happens. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Alright, well, if I'm not going to find this Ghost Rider, then I will... Gotta end the stream on something, right? So... I'll take out my frustrations on not knowing what to call the corporate security bots / inepts by destroying this one and doing this little puzzle. If I can find a damn frostberry plant, frostberry bush. One up here? Or do I have to go all the way back? What's in here? Oh, it's this part. I don't need to worry about this part yet. We'll save that for another day. So I guess up here Ah, come on. I guess there's one up here, maybe. I would have thought, but I might be wrong. Oh, come on. Go up here, then. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. So now I'm on the second floor of Duke's Temple. There we go. There it is. I knew there was one up here, so... There we go. Alright, so now I have access to this, and I obviously have to look up here at these patterns, these little glyphs, and find where they are, and I do the butt stompy routine, the buddy slam, and then... So I should probably study this before I just commit to it, right? So there, where's the weird little thumbs up thing? There, and then the little Easter egg kind of thing is here, and then the wavy stink line thing is stink lines down there. So yeah, I'm not gonna remember that. Let's do this. They don't give you much time. Hey, are you kidding me? That's not... Oh, I did the wrong one. There we go. So easy to get turned around there. I like how they're still indented. That's nice. Alright, well, 7 pages. I haven't expanded the world yet, and this is kind of where I wrap up the first episode. Hey, this is DK Vine done slow, right? No regrets here. Yeah, I know. You're going to be in it for the long haul, you two. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Hello to Rocket Grunt. Rocket Grunt asks, when's Daily returning to the podcast? I don't know, because Chris Alcock really wants to do Crazy Kremland, the Crazy Kremland Destination DKU episode, which Daily does as well, so I think they have to go to war with each other first. Dream... Is it Peppers99 says, I feel guilty, tried to play this game like 4 times, couldn't pass, couldn't do so far, but the Yooka 2D... Yeah, Impossible Lair, you know, if people couldn't get into this game, Impossible Lair, like I said, is just god tier, amazing, as good as a Donkey Kong Country game. Definitely check that out, and then maybe go back and try this. It will, at the very least, make you love these characters and this cast a lot more than just going into this game cold will. I think Impossible Lair really... established for me how much I like Laylee and Yooka and Trouser and really like so many side characters in this game pop back up in Impossible Lair. And I don't want to get into too many Impossible Lair spoilers on episodes to come, but I will be kind of bringing it up every now and then, especially when we encounter a character and then we catch back up with them later in Impossible Lair. Mitchell Wolf, my friend Mitchell Wolf says, Hyle, do you ever think Yooka-Laylee? That sounds like Yooka-Laylee. And then I get it. I get it. Then he also says, Dr. Puzz is going to straight up eat Royston one day. He's always swimming around her face. It's going to be an accident. Yeah, absolutely. And that will be how we get Royston back in the Banjo series, right? That will be like the inciting event that will split those two up. Royston has a happy life now, but eventually, even if it's in her sleep, Dr. Puzz is going to go chomp, chomp, champ, champ on that poor fish, and then Royston's going to flee in the middle of the night, and then Banjo will be having a day at the beach because Royston is a saltwater goldfish, which I know doesn't exist, but just stay with me. And Banjo's going to be at the beach, and there's going to be Royston. He's swimming, and he's going to be like, there's my friend Royston. Where you been? And he's going to capture him, and then the cycle of pain and misery will continue once again. Anyway, yeah, so thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week. Well, the royal am I speaking like Duke now? I don't know. I will be back next week, and we will pick up Yooka-Laylee. I should probably save and quit. But I will be back next week picking up where I left off. So we're gonna chip away at this game ever so slowly. DK Vine done slow. Remember to take life slow. Is that what I say? I never can remember. It sucks either way. Bye.